subscribe. I am on a streak here. This is great. This is great. All these video ideas. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. So in this video, I'm going to be teaching another life lesson yet again. In this video, I'm going to be teaching the life lesson of the concept of when someone does an act of kindness towards you and them expecting it to be repaid sometimes. Okay? So I'm going to make this statement, and I truly and fully believe it. Okay? If someone does something nice for you, for example, helps you out in Lumber Tycoon 2, and you did not ask them to, and if you tell them, hey, you're not going to get anything back from this, and if they still do it, and then if they expect something back from it, you have 100% of a right to say, I told you, no, I'm not helping, sorry. Even without the, now I'm going to explain some more, specifics about this, okay? For example, let's say something small happens. Some friend gives you a couple of gloomy pumpkins in Lumber Tycoon 2 for free, and then one day they want you to repay back the favor by you giving them 2 Rosia Flama pumpkins for free or something. Let's say you not even ask the person to give you gloomy pumpkins. But if there is a situation presented where it would be nice if you gave them Rosia Flama pumpkins and they almost kind of indirectly ask for it, in that situation, it is best to just go along with it and give them Rosia Flama pumpkins. It's the least you can do, because they did decide to do a random act of kindness out of nowhere, and it is a little rude if you don't do anything back, alright? But, with my opinion, I believe that you are still technically not entitled to giving them anything back. In my opinion. Alright? Yes, it might come off as rude to, the person who did the nice thing for you originally without you asking them. But, you never asked for it. You never asked them to do that. You never, ever asked them to do that. That was their act of kindness that they decided to do, and they should not expect anything back from it. Something back would be nice, and, yes, it does come off as rude if you don't actually do that nice thing back. But if you never ask for that item, then why should you be entitled... No, why should they be entitled to receive a kindness favor back from you? That is my strong opinion on that. I have a strong opinion on that, okay? No matter how much someone does for you, the more you say, hey, I'm not going to pay you back, the better it is. The more you say, hey, I'm not going to do something for you nice back, I'm just going to keep to myself, the better it is and the less rude you seem. And when someone does that act of kindness for you and you don't want to repay them back of an act of kindness, doing that is really ideal, and I urge you to do so. But at the end of the day, you technically don't have to do anything for them. Again, it'll seem a little rude, but you don't have to do anything back. Let's bring a real-world example to this. Let's say, your friend ends up picking you up some flowers or something from a flower shop as like a little gift. It's like a random gift. Should you be expected to give them something back? In terms of etiquette, it would be a little rude if you did not do anything back. And I'm going to say one thing right here. Unfortunately, that is the way it is. But I'm telling you one thing right here and right now. You don't have to. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's their act of kindness. They decided to do it for you. That was very nice of them doing that for you, but you don't have to repay it back. You were not entitled to. When they're doing that act of kindness, they should know that, hey, I'm not expecting anything back. If they do expect anything back, then that just makes them, in my opinion, look worse. Because what act of kindness is an act of kindness if you expect it to be repaid? Like, you're just like, this is just like a little investment. They better do something nice to me back in the future. No. You do something nice with no intention of getting anything back in return. That's where true kindness comes from. All right? I will say one thing right here. Let's say, for example, someone has a lot of money and they never donate it to anywhere. That does, definitely does set a look of, why isn't he given that much? But, and this is a little crazy, but my opinion on that is technically, they made the money. That's what they can do with it. Now, I don't entirely believe that, because I actually do partially believe that, let's say, for example, there is like an old Scrooge or something who has a lot of money, that literally has so much money to the point of where, like, it's gonna be mostly wasted. My opinion, I feel like the old Scrooge should give at least some of the money up. But at the end of the day, they don't have to, because it's their money that they earn. Either they got lucky, they decided to do this and that. Yes, it is good to do kindness things. It is good to donate some of that money. I do strongly encourage it, but at the end of the day, you're not forced to. All right? That's how it is. There is a saying that I've said on this channel before. Okay? Maybe it was a couple years ago. I don't know when it was. But think of this. If someone gets something nice and gets super lucky or something, they shouldn't be expected. They shouldn't be like, hey, that's not fair. He got this, but not me. Just because a certain person gets lucky and gets something that not everybody else does not mean that they should be forced to give that up. I gave an example of, let's say, a kid got like a blue popsicle or something, I don't know, and has like maybe like 2 blue popsicles because they got super lucky. They shouldn't be said, hey, they shouldn't be forced to share those popsicles with people. Although, yes, that would be a really good thing to do, but they should not be forced to share those popsicles. Just because one person gets lucky does not mean that they should be forced to share that luck. Just because like one kid in the class gets lucky does not mean that they should have that luck disappear just because all the other kids did not get lucky. This is a pretty tough subject. It literally is like, it's hitting me a little bit here. But what I'm saying is what I believe at the end of the day. All right. And do not get me wrong, I still truly believe that like giving out to charity and stuff is really good, and it is encouraged to be done, but no one should ever be forced. Think of this concept. Just because one person gets lucky to have a lot of money that they work hard for does not mean that they should be like, oh, no, never mind. I got to give all that money away because everyone else around me did not get that fortunate to get this amount of money. No. That should not be what's happening. I still, deep down in my heart, do think that it is a little wrong to gatekeep money that you are never going to use and is never going to bring you good use. Like, literally, I get that some people will say, oh, well, it's a backup just in case I get, like, screwed over or whatever. But what I'm saying is the absolute case scenario where that money is literally going to be used for nothing. Not even a backup. Not even a backup of a backup. Or a backup of a backup of a backup of a backup. Literally absolutely nothing. At that point, I deep down in my heart believe, yeah, that should be used to, help people who are less fortunate. But then, again, at the end of the day, no one should be forced to do anything as well. All right? I do also, at the same time, encourage you to give and give and give to those in need. It is a really good thing to do. It brings smiles to people's faces. Should you be forced? No. Should you give? Yes. Should you be forced? No. Here's another way I want you to think of this. Just think of this with an open mind here. Okay? If you're still disagreeing with me on this. But still think of it anyway. Even if you are. Think of this. Let's say one person got really lucky in life, another person did not. Just because that one person got really lucky in life and is having a good time, but the other person did not, does not mean that that one person who is having a good time in life should give that up just to help out the person who is not having a good time in life. It's basically saying, like, oh, this person's having fun. You got super lucky to have this fun. But no, we have to take that away because this other person didn't have fun. Then what is it going to turn to? They're both not really having that much fun? Or at least a tiny bit of fun? No. And I don't mean a tiny bit of fun. I mean like a very slim silver that's not even, you get the point. I don't even know. That is my opinion. And if you disagree, comment down in the comment section. I won't get pissed, obviously. I'd like to hear, all opinions. Come at me with all opinions. I'd like to hear them.